Yo, what's good, guys? How are we all doing? You good? I know it's been a while since you've seen me on YouTube and on Twitch. About 2 months now since we stopped streaming and doing videos of FIFA 20. For a number of reasons, I was pretty much done with the game. I'd done over 3,500 games on FIFA 20, you know, from the start of the game up to doing E-Prem, E-Lions, pretty much every weekend league by like one or two. So I felt I needed a break. Also, I've moved house as well, which is why we're on this green screen now. As you can see, things have changed a little bit, the setup. So we'll be like this going forward when my house gets renovated, so you don't see the rubbish that's going on behind me, which works well for YouTube because it allows me to shoot some videos a lot easier with using the green screen and then pop in behind what I need you guys to see. It's 3 days till FIFA 21 and I cannot wait. I'm absolutely buzzing. I'm so excited. I'm one of the very few people that really enjoyed the beta. With that in mind, I put a tweet out a couple of weeks ago asking for your guys' questions on FIFA 21. I was hoping the demo would be out so I could have the demo gameplay behind us. Then I could show you some of these things that I'm answering in the questions. But what we're going to do, I'm going to answer them as best as I possibly can. A lot of the stuff you've asked, I can talk about now because it's been shown in content creators' videos that are allowed to stream and, allowed to share FIFA 21 videos up to the launch. You know, a few of the big guys like Bates and AA9, Matt HD, and people like that have shown a lot of gameplay. So I think I'm pretty safe now to talk about some of these things because I can refer to that if I needed to on where I've got it from, and obviously go into more detail, which is great. So without further ado, let's get into it. Right, here we go. I've got the questions in front of me. I'm going to work through them, answer them as best as I can for you. The first question is from Technical FAQs. He says, will your current tactic videos work in FIFA 21? From the better experience, yes, they will. Not much has changed on that side of the game. The tactics, the individual instructions and things like that, they're pretty much the same. I think a couple have been removed or changed slightly, a little bit more control on a couple of them, but nothing major, nothing that's going to really affect the 4-2-3-1 and probably the 4-1-2-1-2 stuff as well. So they will still work. I used my 4-2-3-1 most recent video in the beta and it worked fantastically, really, really well. Still very, very much one of the OP formations to go to. However, I do feel that this year there's going to be a lot more flexibility in formations you can use. I think that 4-3-3, like in the FIFA 17 days, could work really well with your left wing, right wing, left forward, right forward. That could see a bit of a resurgence, a bit of a comeback with the way the game is now as well. 4-4-2 should still be good, and potentially even 4-1-2-1-2. Again, because of the way the game is and the changes in mechanics, but we'll have to see. I will test, obviously, different tactics in the first month or so to bring you guys, obviously, the best tactics to use, the best, instructions and things like that, because I do think that you're going to see a lot more experimenting this year with tactics as well. And I want to provide you with that experience and what I think about different tactics this year from the very beginning. As last year, really, we got into it towards the end, the tactic videos, the training, talks about coaching and stuff. Whereas this year we can hit it from the beginning, the ground running, we can go straight in and we can cover everything, and I will be doing that for you. On to the next question from Howling in the North. How are you doing, mate? Hope you're doing very well. What are your recommendations for starting formation and tactics? What works and what didn't? I think I covered that a little bit in the last question, but again, I would say start with my 4-2-3-1 formation, my most recent one on my channel, and then get used to the mechanics, get used to where the game plays, get familiar with it, and then go into some other tactics, give them a go once you're used to the game and familiar with it. That's what I would recommend. And also, like I said, I will be covering it. We're covering it on stream as well. So I will share that information with you as soon as I know what new formations are OP, what works and what doesn't. The next question is from Raznator YT. I know this isn't the final form of the game. Could you play against someone who's playing low depth, drop back, and defend with the AI? Also, what do you think about crosses? Will players like Van Basten or Kane or Lukaku be usable? So what I think he means is drop back, low depth, and AI defending OP. Yes and no. I personally felt that defenses naturally, and you see this in a lot of the other guys' videos as well, play a slightly higher line this year. I don't think it's as deep this year as it was in FIFA 20. I didn't feel that anyway, and I can see that on the videos. You can see defenders are a lot higher lines naturally. Drop back, probably will be a bit of an issue still, because I don't know if you're watching a lot of the Prem at the moment and things like that. Like, teams are doing it. It is drop back, every man behind the ball. It's very prominent in modern day. And I think that EA, Vancouver see that, and they are keeping it in the game to help people. But the plus side is the things you've got in your arsenal to counter it this year. You've got long range shots, you've got heading, you've got much better attacking AI, you've got creative runs, you've got the ability to take control of one player and make him run and pass it with the AI. There's so many ways to counter it and combat it this year that I really think that if that's all someone can do is play low depth, drop back, and defend with the AI, which again isn't as strong anyway, they are going to struggle, and it's not going to be like FIFA 20. You're gonna break them down. You're going to score. For me, I didn't find it as much of an issue, and you can see from some of the videos with the creators, there's a lot of goals in games, and hopefully that doesn't change coming out to the full release in a few days. What do you think about crosses? Will players like Van Basten, Kane, or Lukaku be usable? Yes, early on. I think in the first 6 months, I think you'll find a lot more players usable, especially at gold level. Around that level, like more of a casual level, you will be able to enjoy more players because of the fact that obviously a lot more things are brought into the game this year. Heading is a lot better. I think agility and balance are as OP this year in general. Dribbling is very strong still, and I do feel like dribbling is going to be the new meta, but strength is very underrated. From what I've seen in the videos and from my experience in the beta as well, I think there's going to be key to have some strong players there to give you a bit of flexibility in how you play. But we will see in 3 days if they've changed anything for the better from the gameplay footage we've seen on the other creators. Hopefully, from my experience, it's not changed that much. A little bits did need tweaking. There were some issues, but nothing major. I enjoyed it. I absolutely loved the beta. So hopefully, you know, they've tweaked little things and made it even better on full release. The next question comes from Benel86. How are you doing, Ben? Hope you're doing good, buddy. Serious question this time, because he had a bit of fun earlier. What stats should people look for when building their solid starter teams that are weekend league worthy, and why? Well, the answer to this question has changed quite a bit from when I played the beta because of the release in the cards. They've nerfed a lot of stats this year. You know, we've seen a lot of pace nerfs. We've seen cards, I think in general, brought down a little bit to allow for more upgrades and for obviously some of the things that they want to do on the stat-specific upgrades as well. But again, for me, I really think that you're going to need pace. You are going to need skillful players. I think with your defenders, you're going to be able to use players with slightly lower pace this year. I think anything probably 70 and above this year early on, until obviously we get the really high level cards with, you know, further on in the game, like you get a Tots and stuff like that, and Team of the Year should be usable. Strength is a lot better this year, especially CDMs. For me, I really enjoyed using Fabinho. Fabinho was fantastic, really solid. He wasn't fast, but because he was strong, he had great positioning. You've got to remember, you've got the new kind of positional awareness feature in the game now, whereas you've got players who are better and they've got better positional awareness, better, you know, reactions. You see that in game. You see that in game. You see how they position themselves, their movement, the reactions for the players. That is really big this year. So I would be looking at position-specific stats, especially when it comes to like your defenders and your CDMs and midfielders. Lean more towards people who excel in certain things so you can use them in that way. I think that's going to be a key thing this year. I think if you want a player as an outlet, go for all-out pace. Don't worry too much about shooting and finishing yet early on, because it's unless you get really lucky in packs and, you know, you shove a lot of money on, or, you know, you're good at trading, it's going to be hard for you to get the Mbappe's. It's going to be really dear. Your Neymar's, your Ronaldo's. You know, you're going to be looking at having a striker who's good at finishing, but he may not be fast or really fast. He might be able to head, or you might have a really fast striker, you know, that is quick, got reactions, good dribbling, but his passing and shooting lets him down a little bit, but you're going to have to compensate for that for the time being. You're going to have to make sacrifices, I think, this year, early on anyway, until obviously you've got a lot more coins and you can add like the really OP players and the players excelling in certain positions. For me, I want fast players on the width. I really enjoyed using fast fullbacks. Trent was unbelievable. Mendy at left back, you know, he's always OP. Fast wingers. I'm going to be using attacking fullbacks this year if the game stays very similar. I think they're trying to make FIFA 21 a lot more like the modern game, where you know your fullbacks are involved in the play a lot more. So hopefully that stays, and we see teams playing like that a lot more this year. But we shall see. We shall see when the game comes out. I've not looked at starter teams now, just because realistically, a lot's going to change. It's very different from FIFA 20, so we'll have to wait and see when the game comes out how things are and how it works, and kind of what we want where as well. I hope that answers your question anyway, Ben. Right, another question from Howlin in the North. Howlin has given me loads of questions, which is fantastic. So we've got plenty of content to bring you. He said, what would you say are the main meta ways to score? Right, this is good. This is a really good question, because this year, and again, you see this in other creators' videos, if you watch it, look in detail, take the time and look at certain things, watch the goalkeepers. This year is a lot more structured in the way you're going to score your goals. You have got to be a lot sharper, a lot quicker, especially early on with goal cards, you know, because you're not going to have the top rated team of the year, team of the season cards. So scoring is going to be a lot harder because keepers are a lot better. You will see. And I recommend going watching, like, you know, one of the people who are allowed to show footage of FIFA 21 on the streams. Watch the goalkeepers. Goalkeepers really adjust themselves based on where you are, your movement, your turns. So if you turn and shape to shift to like one corner, you will see the AI goalkeeper, they shift themselves really good this year at covering the near post, shifting themselves to react to your position. So in terms of the meta ways to score, I would say right now, realistic ways of scoring is the meta, like across the goal, creating an opportunity where you're catching the goalkeeper off guard, wrong footing him, things like that, creating the openings where you play it across goal and the keeper's on one side and it's really hard for him to get across to, you know, the other side of the goal, and you put it in there. Like, very much thinking real football. That's the way I approached it. Before we got the meta cards, anyway, when you got the meta cards, it was a lot different. You know, the fact that they're so good at shooting, you can shoot and generally overpower the goalkeepers at that stage in the game. But early on, yeah, I would say the most meta way to score is reacting to the goalkeeper's movements, because they are very sharp at moving. I'm not sure how it will affect with the lower rated goalkeepers, but with the higher rated goalkeepers, they were really good. But again, you've got heading, you've got long shots, you've got sweat goals, you've got everything in your arsenal. So we'll probably find a proper meta once the game's out fully. But for now, I would say go into it, try and score some real goals, you know, real style goals, real, you know, shooting across goal, you know, them kind of things, and watching the goalkeeper. Next question again from Howlin. Who are the better standard players you used, and who would make your starting squad? I find this really easy to answer from the better. It depends obviously on the full game with the stat changes slightly, but it'd be very similar. I love Trent. Trent was unbelievable. Like, I love Trent on FIFA 20 anyway, but the fact now that you can use fullbacks like Trent, you know, as they are in real life, and attack with him, bomb it down the wing, create opportunities, cross with him. Obviously, Trent's got the trait they put in for him, the crossing trait, the driven one that's basically come from him. Really fun to use. I'm a United fan, by the way, so this is painful. This hurts me. But Salah as well. Salah was really good. Really enjoyed using Salah. Weak foot this year for me so far. Again, see this in other videos and stuff. It doesn't seem as influential this year. I don't think it's going to be as much of an issue early on anyway. I think you'll be able to enjoy a lot more players and not focus on snap shooting because you've got a good weak foot. Like, Salah was really good to use. Really enjoyed using Salah. Neymar, again, fantastic as always. I mentioned it earlier, Fabinho, really good. I know I keep coming back to these Liverpool players, and I think that a lot of it's because you're partner Liverpool and their players are really good, but they were really good. Who else did I use? I can't remember who else I used. I used a lot. Mendy was good. Mbappe was good. Because it was the better, you got a lot of the good cards early on. Obviously, you got free coins at you. So I didn't really use a lot of low-rated cards. They were all high-rated, you know. So, you know, CR7, fantastic. With the new mechanics, when the manual heading, CR7 is going to be back in a big way, and it will be mega expensive. But yeah, that's a little snippet into who I enjoyed using. And unfortunately, a lot of Liverpool players, but there we go. Next question is from Foot Swollen. Are there flaws in hitting the post 45th, 90th minute kick goals still present? I know this is a very touchy subject. Some people believe it, some people don't. I personally think that it does exist in FIFA 20 and FIFA 19 anyway. From my experience, it very much was there, whether it was a mentality thing or not. But I mean, I played at a very high level, and I still believe it was there. From the better and from the footage that you've seen in other matches. You know, I've watched a lot of games from the other creators that are showing the gameplay, and it's not there. You just don't see it. It's not. Things feel a lot more open, look a lot more open, a lot more creative, and hopefully it's not. But I'm not 100% sure. Obviously, I've only played the beta, and I'm only going off the footage that I've seen, and that's what I can comment on more than what I've experienced in the beta. I can comment on the footage that I've seen, but I don't think so. Fingers crossed it's not. AI attacking, please tell me you improved it. Yes, and yes. You can see this in every single FIFA 21 footage you watch. Players are running everywhere, creative runs. You know, they do it. The AI does it for you. You can signal the run with right button R1. You know, that's still there and a lot more effective. It's just fun. You picture what's on the pitch and watch movement, watch runs. You can create some really, really good plays. You're going to see some fantastic goals this year because of that, and it's going to be a lot more enjoyable because of that as well. In terms of the creative runs, you know, they're dictating it where you flick the right stick and take over a player to control them, and then the AI controls the player on the ball and you make the pass. I think that's going to be a really, really powerful way to open your opponent up once you get to grips with it. The one way you make them make the runs, you know, where you press, I think it's LB and then flip the direction, or RB and flip the direction, and you can make up to 5 players make runs. I don't think that's going to be it. I think that's going to be very rarely used from what I've seen, and obviously what I've experienced. It's not great. They're still running in straight lines. Really, I was hoping they'd art the runs. They would use a bit of AI intelligence and make the runs clever when you tell them which directions to go. But they don't. It's just make the run, go. Like, you know, Usain Bolt style. You go there as fast as you possibly can in that direction. So whether that changes in the full game, I really hope it does, because it's a feature that if they do it right, could be really, really effective. So we'll have to see. But for me, and from what you've seen in the other footage on other creators as well, there's enough there with the AI, you know, attacking runs, their movement, the way the game is, to allow you to enjoy it. And it's not like FIFA 20 where everyone's static stood there and it's like, what do I do? Because you've got the drop back and there's no one making runs. Yeah, it's a lot better. Right, let's finish with this question, and a good question to finish with from Owen Jeffrey 11. What are you most looking forward to in this new FIFA? Everything. I'm looking forward to starting from the beginning, you know, learning the game, playing it with you guys on stream, creating YouTube videos, creating my new squad, hopefully getting competitive, getting verified early, and doing qualifiers and knockouts, doing E-Prem again, E-Lines again. Like, I love being competitive. I love that. Hopefully get to coaching, work with some of you guys as well. Just a whole experience. Last year, it's funnily enough, it's the year I played it most, but for me it was probably one of the worst years of FIFA because of the way it played. I'm just looking forward to being creative, having fun, creating fun goals, being excited when I'm playing it, scoring a goal and being like, wow, that was insane. I had that a lot on the beta. I experienced a lot of wow moments, and I'm hoping that's in the game. And from a viewer point of view from your guys, being able to watch people you watch, and for me watching other creators, watching people enjoy the game, have fun, score brilliant goals, playing co-op as well, playing co-op with you guys, playing co-op with other creators. You know, it's just so much this year to look forward to, as long as the year get it right. And I really feel they are going to get it right this year, as long as things don't change too much. You know, I'm being optimistic. A lot of people aren't. A lot of people shoot you down on this when you're being positive, but I'm going to try and be positive. You know, that's a new thing this year. Let's be positive. I've got no reason not to be positive from the beta and from what they're doing. You know, Icon SBC's are back. It looks like they're listening. So hopefully it's great and we have a good year. So there we go. That is the end of the video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, it's 3 days to go till FIFA 21's out. I will be live on the 1st of October on EA Access. I'm going to get some points on, we'll open packs. We'll go for everything. We'll start building my team. We'll do my YouTube videos. We'll have fun and chill out with you guys. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe as well. We're on the road to 1,000 subs. I will be doing everything this year from the beginning, tactic videos, training videos. I'm going to be starting some YouTube series as well. Everything's going to be everything from my journey from the beginning to the very end this year. We're going to go for it. Let's get to 1,000 subs as quickly as possible. Let's keep this growing. And thanks for love as always. And I will see you all in 3 days. Take care, everyone.